Hello world, my name is Ashley Collins and welcome to the Breakup Diaries. Okay, this doesn't feel so weird anymore doing the introduction. Okay, so we're gonna talk about, I was watching Gary Vee this morning, and he was saying that if you've been doing YouTube videos for a while and you still don't have a lot of following, a lot of subscribers, a lot of views, then maybe you're like talking about the wrong thing. I'm like, what am I not talking about? I'm like bearing my fucking soul to everyone. Why is no one watching? He's like, you need to talk about the things that are hard to talk about. And I'm like, I'm talking about everything that's hard to talk about. But then something like blipped in my head. And I'm like, what is a subject among other subjects that I'm really trying to avoid? And something that I'm trying to avoid talking about out loud. I talk to my peers about it. I talk to my friends about it. Why do I hate men? Why do I come off as a man hater, particularly on my Facebook? And I think I don't do this intentionally. I post a lot of things that may be offensive to the XY chromosome species. And I want to start off with a little I think I've talked about this a lot, but for those of you that are first time viewers, I was raised in a single parent home. My mother raised me by herself, and she did a fantastic job, if I do say so myself. And I always wanted to play with the boys. I always wanted to do the things that boys do, but it wasn't very ladylike. And then when I got at that age of wanting to start to date and all that stupid testosterone puberty shit, I found a hard time attracting and holding on to a guy. And just every one of my relationships was always, I want to do everything that I can to make you happy. I want to do everything that I can to hold on to you, because if I can't hold on to a man, then who am I? I'm an awful woman since I can't hold on to a man. And I hope that's relatable to someone out there. Or maybe I'm just alone in feeling that. Maybe. I think that a lot of women define their worth on their relationship. If you can't hold on to a man, then who the fuck are you? I gotta stop saying guys. I think that something that's toxic that a lot of men say is, if you ask a guy, ask any guy, if he's ever had a crazy ex-girlfriend, he will 100%, I promise you, I guarantee you, he will say yes. But if you ask a humbled woman, because everyone has like their bitterness in them. If you ask a humbled woman what went wrong with your old relationships or your past relationships, we will own the fault. And I think that's like an aha thing to me. Don't you think? It's upsetting and it's bothersome. Why is it always the crazy ex-girlfriend's fault? I think that men are very good at defending themselves. They're always very good on the defense. I was watching this. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Oh my gosh, I gotta find out her name. I'll put it in the comments. I was watching this TED Talk. Sheryl Sandberg, TED Talk. Why there are less female leaders in the workforce. And she said, let's get right to the point. Men rule the world. Period. Point blank. But that's something that needs to be changed. I remember I was talking to a friend when I started on this whole motivational journey. I was messaging her like some of the people that I watched and people that I listened to. And she said, Ashley, girl, you need to listen to some more female leaders, some more female speakers. And I said, I don't think it really matters, does it? Or is it the fact that they're not as popularized? Men rule the workforce, period, point blank. How many of you work in a company, in a business, in a restaurant, and it's majority men? Is majority men staff? And the female leaders that there are few, far between, and I was thinking about this one female boss that I had. I don't remember. I can't remember her name, but I remember what she looked like. And she was awesome. She was so empathetic and so nice, and like she handled her shit. And one day the district manager came in and like he just ripped her an asshole. He said, "You're too nice. You're not hard on them. You're too nice to them. We gotta hit our numbers. We gotta like, like hit like our goal for the fucking year." And she cried. I don't see, to me, a happy employee makes a happy workplace, makes happy customers. So by making, by being empathetic and being kind and being joyful with your employees, it'll show in your business. I don't think you need to be an asshole to not, and I'm not saying that men are assholes. There are definitely men that are bosses. There are definitely men that are handling their shit. But I think that it's time for women to take over. Ask me about my feminist agenda. Something else that Sheryl Sandberg said was, we need to take a seat at the table and don't leave too early. How many times when we're applying to a job or talking about our goals do we play ourselves short? Do we talk very lesser than ourselves? Lesser than our worth, lesser than our value. Value is something that you know about yourself that you can offer and you can provide to someone. That's what value is. And I think that we don't talk about it enough. We don't talk ourselves up off enough without coming off as cocky. Why is it that when a woman talks great about herself, she's cocky, but when a man does it, like it's obvious, like it's just expected of him? And I really want to talk about this. I haven't really talked about this with anyone. Let's talk about it with you. There's this huge controversy about girls wanting to join the Boy Scouts. I was never a Girl Scout. I never really had a desire to, but apparently they learn different techniques. They learn different tactics. And men were like, it's called Boy Scouts for a reason. Girls can't do it. Why is there this forced segregation? If a girl wants to join Boy Scouts, let her do it. It's kind of like saying, oh, there's only men CEOs, there's only men presidents. We don't want a woman president. Why not? There's nowhere in the fucking Constitution that it says that there can only be a male president. That's a whole nother discussion for another video, though, whether Hillary earned it or not. Yeah. And I also think that it's hard. Women juggle a lot of things, like having to take care of our physical appearance, taking care of our bodies, not only with weight, but with like our fucking menstrual shit, having to juggle being a mother, having to juggle being a friend, having to juggle your race on top of being a woman. And I think this really plays a lot for me when it comes to finding my audience. Like, who am I? Who do I want my videos to resonate with? Who do I want my message to resonate with? And I honestly feel like everyone. Because this issue is not just a female issue. This is a global issue. And I think that I'm very aware of my first world problems, because there are women in other countries that aren't even allowed to fucking drive. I definitely get nervous walking around at night, but there are women who are justified in their nervousness as well. And they know that if they're attacked, they will not be given justice. So I'm aware of that, but I'm also aware that right here, right now, right here in this time, there's something that we can do about it. So, some tangible advice that we should be given is that when we know that we've deserved something, we've earned something, we need to claim it and we need to speak about it. We need to talk about it. Stop playing small. And if you see someone doing something wrong, you need to call them out. You need to call them out. You need to say something about it. There's this video on YouTube that Facebook that's gone viral about these girls at this bar that got drunk, and they're like being rambunctious and they're like yelling and stuff, and they're like kicking at the bouncer and stuff like that. And then suddenly there's a shift where the bouncer punches them. He pushes and punches them, and the comments are disgusting. They're disgusting. They're, oh, look, I hate drunk, stupid bitches. They got what they deserved. They got what they deserved. They got what they deserved. I was raised with the mentality that if I raise my voice and I put my hands on a guy, I'm going to expect to get hit back. But no one deserves to be berated and treated like an animal. And this goes on for like 5-7 minutes in the video. These girls are like, there's this shift when you're drinking where it's like, it's not drunkenness anymore. There's just fucking rage. There's just fucking rage. All you see is fucking red at this point. And the bouncer is still punching them. He's still hitting them. And he's still pushing them. And everyone's just fucking watching this happen. I think that as, you know, I'm all about people doing their job. As a bouncer, it's your job to protect the nightclub. It's your job to protect the people in the area. He should have closed the fucking door and called the cops, not fucking entertain them. And I think there's a lot of talk saying that if you knew that this was going to happen, why didn't you do this? You got what you deserved. As an artist, and as someone who is expected to always take off their clothes no matter what they do, I have no problem with it. And I think there's a huge problem with reputation as well. That if you don't do this, your reputation will be ruined. Oh, Ashley doesn't feel comfortable being in her bra on stage, so I probably wouldn't cast her for anything ever again. You say it sounds ridiculous. You say it doesn't sound real, but it's true. And it happens. Especially in the artist community, reputation is everything. If you say no to one thing, people will find out. They'll know about it. And it doesn't matter about your character. And why? What do we... Why I hate men? Oh, I don't think that I know. I mean, my dad was a man. I don't hate men. I don't hate men. I think that men have this false sense of ego that they've earned something, and they're very protective. They're very territorial. They think that they've earned the right to be at the top, and they think that women need to work harder. They need to fight harder to get up there. I don't mind working. I don't mind getting up there. But I also want you to be aware that the way that you talk to, the way that you interact with other women, and I always think that it's a low blow to say, oh, would you talk to your mama like that? And like, no, like, you don't want to sleep with your mother. Like, I get that. Like, calm down, Norman Bates, you know? I understand that. But also consider that your niece, your female cousin, your sister is trying to date someone. They're trying to get in the position that you are. And you're saying that, oh, you should just work harder. The majority of the time, that opportunity is not offered. So I think it's not only women's responsibility to bring awareness to and to talk about it, but I think it's also men's responsibility to talk about it as well. And just to be aware that I have a very tight, very, 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 very small circle of friends. And the way that they work their ass off is so admirable. And I'll see a man who, and I think everyone's working, and I don't believe in luck, but I'll see a man who is doing the exact same thing that my friend is doing, but not taking it as seriously, and it frustrates and it bothers me. And it doesn't make me envious, but there's just this awareness that there is a divide and that it is a problem. And I was going to say numbers in this video, but and I asked my friends for numbers, but the consensus was it's just too many. The gap is just too huge. And I don't know. In conclusion, into this video, I don't want to lose any male followers, and I don't mean to offend anyone. Like I said, men are always on the defense, always defending themselves, whatever. I do love men. I love me some Chris Evans, love me some Jason Momoa, love me The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, but you can't be ignorant to the fact that there is a problem in the world, in the States, to be more specific. There's a problem. And if I ever say something that sounds man hating, it's not out of a place of hate. It's out of a place of, you see, I'm a show and tell kind of girl. Cool. Smile. Oh, I lose so many followers. Why do I do this to myself? Happy Taco Tuesday.